Yo, what's up? It's your boy South Central back at it again, man. Today we got fraternity fraud. We got what makes a woman a hoe. We got it all today. If you can, please like, comment, subscribe, or dislike the video, man. Let me know what you guys think, man. What can I do to make this more pleasing to you guys? Make this more appealing. Make this channel more appealing, right? Get my name out there, man. I appreciate you guys for watching, but I need feedback. That's what I need from you guys, man. Reciprocation. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. So if you choose to like the video, thank you. If you choose to dislike the video, tell me why. All right, let's work it out. Without further ado, we got the video. Let's get into it.
If they're married, babies outside of marriages, like from other people, like maybe because I'm into watching stuff like that.
I mean, they do, but at the end of the day, when they do it, they still make the man take care of it because they was married.
That needs to be updated.
Certain states that you can get in and you can separate your parental rights, because I was a victim of paternity fraud like that. And then so they should definitely test everybody, even if you're married.
I would support any
So
man.
I'm not trying to break all these people's hearts and families up. They
should have did right.
Leave stuff the way.
No, you can't have it both ways.
I support any man.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Victor, how many years did it take you to figure out you weren't the daddy?
I found out after 9 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hell no. See,
Victor, did you not suspect it at all?
Wait. You said you was married too?
Yeah, my first wife.
prime example.
Damn.
You see how these women could laugh about that? Men too on the panel. Like, to me, that's just not funny, bro. That could break a man's heart. That can make a man go crazy, right? But you're also separating a man who, you know, an innocent guy had nothing to do with it, who thought the child was his, and got hit with this news, and now he probably looked at the world totally different. Make him bitter, could make him, not want marriage anymore. It puts a sour taste in his mouth. And those who seen him go through the motions, as far as seeing him go through that, because we could laugh now, but those who were there for him, as far as his mom, his friends, whatever, puts a sour taste in their mouth about how devious women could be. And I don't think it's funny, right? But let's get back into it. What do you guys think?
My first, I was married. My first wife,
She was still like, after you found out, she was still conscious and everything.
Well, it's a unique situation, man. I'm a glass house experiment with this conversation, right? So I was in the army, and I got married. Then I went back and forth to basic training at AIT, all my schools and everything. And then like within the early parts of our marriage, like we was only together like on paper like 5 years, but we was only together for like 3 of them. So in the toddler years of, of the baby, I call her the maybe baby. Because at some point when she started growing up, I noticed she didn't have any of my features, you know what I'm saying? And so like I ended up going to Iraq twice. I didn't have time to divorce her, you know what I'm saying, as efficiently as I'd like to. And then later on,
Sorry, go ahead.
So later on in my time, I had somebody hit me up and let me know that my ex-wife was on the phone bragging to somebody that was a mutual friend saying that I'm not the dad. Like a real dumb flex. So I flew back home with a DNA test, did the swab myself, found out that she wasn't mine. And then I hired my family, my attorney that handled my divorce. And then I found out that the state where it happened at, it was in Alabama. I found out that Alabama was one of other 13 states where you can, if you prove paternity, you can abolish your parental rights, and I did it.
I would have.
And even then, the judge was still trying to make me pay child support.
So here's the thing. Hold on, Q. So this is perfect. This is a perfect example.
Did y'all hear that? He literally said that the judge still tried to enforce child support on this man, knowing dang well that this dude was not the father of that child. Some may say, some will ask, right? What benefit does the judicial system get for putting men on child support, especially if they don't deserve it, right? Especially if they don't deserve it, like this situation here. What benefit does the justice system get for putting men on child support? Because obviously it's not his child. And that's a great question to ask, especially in 2025, because this is detrimental to men. This is why men vet and ask, questions and listen to red pill content to avoid situations like this, because some men crash out. Some men can't take this foolishness that these women put these men through, right? But you have to make sure, you have to be ultimately sure, right? You have to be ultimately careful about what's yours and what ain't yours, because the court will try to hold you to that, even though that ain't your child. And it's not a game when it comes to men. Okay, it's not a game. Most people lose their life because of this, playing with people like that. Get back into
what Red Pill does is it makes guys situationally aware before they put themselves in that position in the first place. What they do, what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to educate guys as to the do's and don'ts. If a guy comes to me today, for example, and I've had plenty of guys and I've gotten a lot of guys married, right? A guy comes to me today, he's a 40-year-old guy, and he meets a girl, right? And he says, Anton, I'm really successful. I love her. I'm the person that's going to snap him back to reality and say, okay, cool. I'm happy for you. I can't wait for y'all to get married. But did you do a prenuptial agreement? Let me make sure I put you with this lawyer. He's going to make sure that you do it the right way to be able to protect yourself, just in case 2 years from now that y'all decide that y'all want to get divorced, she's not taking half of your shit. You need to do it like this. You need to do it like all it is information and the reality check of how you need to protect yourself, because when you seeing hazy because you in love, you can't see the reality of what you're going to be facing 2 to 3 years from now when the honeymoon phase is off. That's
Anton,
all it is.
Anton, I agree with you about prenups, and a man should do what he needs to do to protect himself. The thing what I disagree with is, like, Victor, your situation is crazy. I'm sorry.
9
That's
years.
not normal. Like that's
Yes, the hell it is, Trey.
You'll be surprised how many people.
Right.
Out there.
Anton,
A lot.
guys.
A
Like,
lot.
I'm telling you,
I would acknowledge,
if you haven't experienced what I'm telling you, you can't speak on it.
but that would be the equivalent of me being in a car accident and saying, well, you haven't been,
Trey,
so you can't speak on it.
Trey, if you've never been a victim of paternity fraud, you do not know what you're talking about.
But if I look up percentage of paternity fraud and I see that it's less than 10%, does that
But
change?
here's the thing, Trey.
But you
Hold
can't
on,
look
hold
up
on,
percentage
Trey.
of paternity
Talking
fraud
about
percentage.
majority,
Because
that's
how many
right.
people are lying about the
How
paternity?
many people can
You don't have
you
foundation
see?
to say
There's
that.
a lot of data that we can't actually add into this equation.
I
You
Exactly.
know how many men will probably never know.
Never
And we
test
ain't
their
even just
kid.
talk about today's men. Do you know how many guys actually think that they daddy is they daddy that ain't really they daddy that
They got
raised
TV
by?
shows based on this.
Man, it's a lot of guys, bro.
I'm not contending with the fact that you guys are saying a lot of guys, but I still believe it is the exception and not the rule. There's no way you guys will say that
I
this is
don't care
happening to the
if it's
majority of
Your
three
opinion is based
people
on
in the
nothing.
world.
and as is
Why
yours.
wouldn't we
Just because
bro. One is too much. One is too many. You shouldn't be playing with people's life like that. Don't play with people's life. Just because you didn't hear about it, and the statistics show that it doesn't happen as much as we're saying it is, does not mean it doesn't happen. Does not mean it doesn't happen frequently. The thing is that the statistics doesn't show that. Okay, it happens a lot, and the women are not getting caught for it. All right, there's no consequence. Okay, there is no fraternity fraud case when we're talking about the subject, because the men not asking questions, right? And most of the time, dude be so in love with his kid or so in love with this devious woman that he don't want to ask that question, even if he feels some type of way, and it's people telling him, right? Hey, you might want to get that checked out. I don't see the baby in you, right? He might see it, but he may be scared just to to test it out and to see and to know that this woman is devious. It's like a woman. It's like a mom hearing about they badass kid. Some moms don't believe it. I don't know. Hell no. Or say parents don't believe it. No, not my kid, not my daughter. No, not the ones I raised. But indeed it is. Indeed, it was your child who was given bop in that bathroom. Huh? You don't want to believe it, but it is true.
It's happening to everybody else.
Well, I don't care.
It is happening.
Listen,
They
if
not
It
it's,
is
the father
happening. I
track.
agree, Nikki.
if it's
No, a lot.
5%,
Where you
let's say
you
it's
probably just
5%.
don't know them people.
No, Nikki, I
Let's
agree.
say
It's
it's 5%.
happening, but it's
Let's
not
say it's
all.
5%, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's work off 5%.
You don't think that 5% is 5% too many?
I do think it is 5% too many.
So why wouldn't we adjust the laws to accommodate those guys to make sure that we have no paternity fraud?
I think that, in my opinion, I think that if a man is put on child support, he should be able to ask for a mandatory paternity test.
Why are you against mandatory paternity tests at birth?
Nigga, if a man don't get put on child support, let's assume that he's already taking care of a child, but he's also taking care of a child that's not his, right? Maybe, right? Hypothetically. Wouldn't you say he should get that figured out right off the bat, so we ain't gotta play these games, we ain't gotta go through, we ain't gotta play with each other. All right, that's my kid. You know what I'm saying? We good. We on the same page, right? But when you blur the lines, that's where anger come, and people get hurt. There's consequences. Either the man get hurt throughout the situation once he find out the child isn't his, or the woman get hurt for playing with the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? To prevent that, let's get the mud out the water. Let's not muddy the waters here. Let's stop playing with each other. Okay. Let's get it done right off the bat. Okay. Nurse, you know what's up. As soon as the baby pop out, ooh, we in love with the baby, kiss her, pull that thing out, man. Pull that test out. Huh? Baby crying? Good. Saliva. Come here. Huh? Come here. Mine's, ain't she? Huh? Ain't she? Ain't he? He mine's, ain't it? Right? If not, what am I here for? Go and get the daddy, man. Go and get the daddy and let me not fall in love with this child to where it's gonna hurt me more to build a bond with this child and build this bond with this woman, this devious woman who I thought that we were sharing this moment with each other on the same page, not knowing that this is really not my kid, bro.
Now, so in theory, Anton, if a woman has a baby and writes your name down, I don't think the government should come and knock at your door and say, hey, we need your blood. We need your DNA. I don't think they should be able to do that to you. And I don't think I would be an advocate for the government having access to your DNA just because some woman randomly put you on.
The government has access and the
They got everything anyway.
Hold on, wait. The government has access and the autonomy to be able to determine whether or not you're going to be on child support if she filed for divorce. The government automatically steps in by default.
Okay,
you don't have a choice. No. You don't have a choice.
But you do have a choice. You can get
a because the minute that she files for a government assistance, they want to know, is it a man living in the house with you? And they're going to hunt down the person that is on that birth certificate to make sure that they file for child support.
And to my understanding, the man can then go to the court and say, hey, that child is not mine. And then there will be a mandatory paternity test. No,
because especially in certain states, if you've taken care of that child, because
this nigga getting red pill right here, bro. You think that you telling me laws? There is no laws for men? Yes, we're telling you. This is why the red pill podcasts are so popular, because people are talking about it now, and a lot of people could relate to it. That that are basically shunned out in society because nobody wants to hear about man's problems. So we get together as a collective. Okay, this is my boy. He had a situation. I'm gonna tell the world what's going on, and then other men tell their story. Okay, I am being hurt. Okay, you went through the same thing. I don't feel so alone in this situation. And those who are not in that situation can learn from that situation, especially men, because women could be devious. Okay, women could be devious, men too, but women could be devious because it's in their nature to. They lie with makeup. They you know what I'm saying. Those who are promiscuous, they try to when they want to get what they want, they will hide that to get what they want. It's simple, and you could be the victim of that. But you gotta put on your red pill glasses. Okay, you gotta put on your contacts. You gotta see what's going on, right? You gotta be aware. You gotta use discernment. All right, and ask God for it. Ask God for wisdom. Because sometimes you get wise throughout pain, right? When you don't learn, you're gonna be forced to learn because the pain coming. Try not to be in a situation to where you got pain to make it. Let's try to be active, not reactive. If that makes sense. Let's get back into it.
Thought that it was your child. If you've taken care of it for however many long, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, the judge has the autonomy to be able to say, no, that's your child. You got to continue to take care of it because you've been taking care of it. You can't come back and do a DNA test and then remove yourself from responsibility of it.
If
They
that's
don't
true,
care.
That's not fair.
I don't
I
think
just explained that very
They
scenario.
don't care.
I just explained that very scenario. The judge was still trying to make me pay child support, even though the law says something different, and I got off of it.
Victor, I'm aware of your anecdote,
it happens a
and
lot.
I appreciate your anecdote. I'm not saying that you're a liar.
So your thing is like, okay, I've been married for going on 5 years, and we have a 2-year-old. When I was giving birth, they asked like, okay, do you like him? Does he want to take one? Because it's been so many cases of where they'll have a baby and then it's like they're not the father. And so my nurse, she was actually talking to me and my husband, telling us that you would be surprised how many people have taken care of these kids for.
You married, put them boobs up, man. Go ahead, get them offline, talking on this panel, and put your boobs up, man. Seem like you're funneling around with them too much. You're showing them a little bit too much. Man, go and get up out of here, man. Go and get up out of here and be married. All right, love your husband. You watching?
There's 10 years. Sometimes they're adults, and they will forever believe that they're that child's father, and the whole time they're taking care of another man's kid. So that's totally believable. And again, like, and to Victor,
These women need to go to jail for that
real,
shit.
because my cousin went through the exact same thing, and it tore him up because he thought his 4-year-old son was his, and the whole time he came back from the army and they got their paternity test and he was like, you're not the father, and it tore him up. So I completely understand where you're coming from on that.
Yep.
Can I ask
No,
a
I
question?
agree. But I'll make it clear. I agree that it happens. I just don't think it's happening as frequently as you guys are portraying it.
Can I ask a question?
It's happening way more than what you think, Trey.
It's a lot of-
If you could prove that to me, I would love to see it.
Can I ask a question just to
What you
tie
got,
back
Jess?
in the red pill? So Anton was saying like, okay, this is what red pill does. It helps men to identify these situations to avoid these situations. Okay, and my question is how? How does the red pill help men to choose a woman that they know will not do something like paternity fraud? How does the red pill help to build a man's discernment to choose the right woman that is guaranteed to not hurt him in a way by way of paternity fraud or, divorcing him to take him for everything? How does the red pill help build a man's discernment on choosing the right woman?
Now that's a good ass question, man. And this is coming from a young male, right? Young man in a dating. I'm not in the dating pool, but that was in the dating pool, right? You have to use you have to be wise. You have to pay attention, all right? But first of all, you gotta scrape that fairy tale women are all nice and then get that out your head. And no. Women are devious, okay? They lie, they cheat, they steal. That's just what it is. Okay? You gotta look up their upbringing, you gotta look up how they act, you gotta look at their friends, you gotta look at, you know what I'm saying? You gotta look at plenty of things to make a decision. And I'm not saying that decision could be 100% because you're not gonna always be 100% correct. But my thing is you gotta look at context clues, okay? Context clues, context, right? You gotta you gotta clean yourself, all right? Right? Clean yourself with anti fuckery, because there's a whole bunch of fuckery that you've been indoctrinated with, as far as looking at the opposite gender, opening up doors and giving them flowers, all this shit, man. That's done. You gotta understand, women, they not like how they used to be. All right, they're not. Women and children used to be off the boat first. No mas, children only. Women, they getting rid of their babies. And there's no, we can't depend on you to be a good woman and reproduce and be fruitful and multiply. We can't do that no more. So, you're not going to. We can't look at you the same. Okay, we got to look at you as Red Pill will say, or we got to look at you with a real lens, right? Reality. We can't play games. Y'all are devious. Y'all are y'all play with men's hearts, y'all play with men's emotions, right? As far as when a dude loves somebody, it's hard to see them for who they really are because you don't want to believe it. And that could be women too on the women's side, but more so men like Hunter, like Travis Hunter. Okay, that's a perfect example of not seeing what the hell is going on. That don't want to see it. I see it, don't want to see it, don't care. Everybody's my enemy. Blah 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 blah. But my thing is this: it's dangerous to date women like that because and have a man emotional, unaware man around you that thing like that because in South Central, most gang wars have started over a man with the wool pulled over his eyes because you find over a woman that don't really give a damn. She on both sides of the field and she gonna do what she do. Most guys still beefing over that and they don't even know it. Most dudes joining these gangs that beefed over a woman, dog. Woman's still alive. Plenty of dead people in the streets. See, they dangerous. You gotta pay attention, right? Because when men get emotional, it get violent. It get real violent, right? And they gonna take it there. Most will. So my thing is, pay attention and understand what you're crashing out for. And there's many context clues, but this conversation is much needed because these women don't understand that when it comes to this red pill, y'all, they saving a whole bunch of people's lives. They even saving y'all lives, right? Because if a man is aware, it ain't gonna hurt him that much. It's like, oh, I knew she was a scraper, right? I knew she was this and that. Other than getting played, the dude was so oblivious until where it hurts his heart to where he want to take action. He want to get violent now. No, you took something from me. You took my innocence. I thought women were good. I thought this was about women. Get that out your head, right? Clean your eyes out, right? Cry your tears now. As a young man, if you're listening, cry your tears now and get over it. They not for you unless they for you, and you got to figure that out fast. Ask good questions. If they don't want to answer, don't care about the shaming words. Don't care about none of that. Who cares? Who cares about, oh, you're this, you're that? I don't care. You're a narcissist. I don't hear it. I don't hear it. I'm asking you good questions right now so we can get this out the way. And the way she reacts, forget what she answers because everybody good in the interview. See how she reacts to those questions. And then that will give you, slightly what you need, but also see how she interacts around individuals. Is she loud? Does she drink? Man, come on, man. Come on. I don't know, maybe get us.
If I had to say, because I have something different than Red Pill that I have as my own brand called Accountable Masculinity. But if I had to say what Red Pill does, it depends on who you're consuming information from. Okay. Because there's prosperity preachers on every level of information. Like if you want to, like you got the sprinkle lady, you know what I'm saying? You got, whoever you can get your information from on the feminine side. Right. But it depends on what catches your eye as a woman, because y'all don't date women, unless you do, but men date women. So we know what we're looking at and dealing with based on what we can attract. I think the question you're asking is best answered by the source of information and where it comes from. The problem comes in is when women start consuming and paying attention to things that they don't like about what men discuss, because women have plenty of things that they discuss that men probably wouldn't find favorable, but we're not invading women's spaces to find out what we don't like so we be mad about it.
All right, I did my little antics, but what he's saying is basically this. Nowadays, especially, women go in men's spaces and want to control those spaces. You saying this too much, you hurting my feelings. Get out of our locker room, bruh. Basically, this is barbershop talk, locker room talk. Get up off the business. Just because you don't like it don't mean it's not valid, gang. Just because you don't like it does not mean it's not valid, gang. Y'all very dangerous when y'all come and raising these baby boys. You feel what I'm saying? They hear some, it's in the hood for real, bro. I was raised by my moms. When you don't want to hear something, you get, when it comes to men, we get violent because we got a little strength on us. We got a little testosterone. So when we get angry, we want to test that jaw. You know what I'm saying? You might be saying something real, but I don't want to hear it right now. This is what women do, right? And I don't like him because he always tell me I need to wake up early, work out. I need to do X, Y, Z. Make me a better man. I don't like being held accountable because my mom used to make me feel good when I'm fat. Make me feel good when I'm being bad because that's my mom. Like, she cares about me. And it's not to a fault of women, but you gotta understand when you're raising a boy, you can't do that. You cannot do that. We have to be accountable for our actions. If not, by the time we get accountable for our actions, we start the Who's podcast in prison doing 3 terms of life. Huh? We popping, but what that do for us? We want freedom, gangy. right? That's what we want. But that's what comes with an emotional response and not doing what you're supposed to do and being held accountable as a man. Okay, but you can't let women muddy the waters. Okay, they want a strong black male, especially when they bring up my grandma had the men were different back then because we didn't listen to women. That's why we were different back then. You had no influence on men at all. You stayed in your place, I stayed in mine. Okay, we interact because opposites attract when it comes to women and men, right? It takes us both to create a child and raise children. Right, you got that feminine energy, you got that masculine energy. But when you start, when women come in our areas acting like they masculine, but nature takes over and they get offended by things that we say that we always been saying, right? If you don't like it, dip. You can't change this. Even if you try to shut us up corporately, we still think it. So you really not shutting us up. Because when we get in that back room, she a scraper, she a bopper, huh? Gonna get you some. Owl 3, huh? Yeah, stop playing, bro. Let's get back into it.
So, what are some things that you've heard, particularly in the red pill space, where you say, okay, I need to take this? Like, do you have any, like, this person said, I need to do X, Y, and Z?
You want me to go answer the question for you?
But
I can answer the question for you.
I'm sorry, there was a delay. You said what?
I said I can answer the question for you if that's what you want.
Yeah, I was just curious on like how do they like what advice do they give guys to say? Is it a type of woman they say to avoid, a type of personality, a character?
Yeah, I mean it's all encompassing. So for example, we separate the difference between. I think it's a much different. There's a difference between a hoe and a housewife.
Yep.
And so a lot of times you separate it based off of the red flags. You can go and look for certain things that women do that would let you know that, she's the person that you're supposed to be marrying versus the person that you're not supposed to be marrying.
Question.
Behavior.
So what are the red flags to show that this woman may do paternity fraud on you?
Y'all don't want to know that. You don't really want to know that answer.
I think
I can
do.
tell you.
I'm gonna be honest with
I
you.
can tell you a lot of the characteristics.
Well, I'm not gonna answer that simply because
I can tell you.
I think it'll hurt y'all. It will really hurt y'all feelings.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hurt your feelings on this.
Hurt
one.
our feelings. I mean, y'all like doing that anyway. So
well, here's the thing. The reality of it is this right here. The main characteristics that men need to pay attention to are paying attention to women that are raised without their fathers. The ones that's raised by women. Most promiscuous women are raised by promiscuous women without their fathers, and they don't respect men. Women that come from a house full of women are red flags.
Men too.
okay,
Yeah, of course, men too. We're talking about the women though, right now.
but what I'm okay, all right.
She asked me for a red flag.
Are
I'm
you
just giving her
saying?
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
so
And for women, don't date men that come from a house full of women. It's the same thing.
Okay, are you saying that all women that have grown up without their fathers are like this?
No, the ones that fit the behavior.
Okay,
Majority.
so if two women can be born under the same roof without a father, and one not be promiscuous and the other one is, then how do you decide which one is which?
The behavior.
Okay, because if you don't know me, and I'm standing right here, and the other girls right here, we both say we came from a single parent home. Our mothers raised us. Our fathers wasn't there. How would you then know which one of us is promiscuous?
It's really simple. It's just your behavior.
Okay, my behavior. At what point do you observe my behavior to say, okay, she's promiscuous? At what point? Is it right when you meet me and you know that I don't have a father? Or is it after we go on a couple of dates?
I'm going to keep it a buckarooski with you, gangy. It's easy. Y'all telling. Sometimes when you listen to a woman, they telling themselves, gang. Just listen to them. Don't. Look, if you're on a date, just listen to them. Don't talk. Don't impede on them. Don't. Just let them tell on themselves. And then some of them are quiet, but when they start talking, they won't shut up. They just won't. It's just what it is. Something if they like you for real, right? If y'all vibing, you feel what I'm saying? You gonna find out about them, but you gotta pay attention. Just pay attention to what they say and what they talk about, right? If they bring friends around, listen to their conversation. Not saying be nosy, but be aware of your surroundings. If they talking about some foolishness, oh, okay, huh? Yeah. First off, ask them their body count. Ask Ask them their body count. Huh? Ask them their body count and see how they react. Now, if they give you a terrible reaction, I got people calling me. Chill, I'm working here. Ask them their body count. Now, if they tripping about that question and try to shame you about, you know what it is. Don't even, huh? But if you really cold, bro, and I ain't cold, but if you really cold, dig him out and then ask them their body count, because one, if they are scrapers, you know what I'm saying? If you ask them their body count, it's done. Oh, you a little boy? Why? Who asked that type of question on the first date? Like, I ain't never heard no woman that's of substance that ain't had, slept all over the town and had they whole phase that they claim they did, get mad about you asking them, hey, did you sleep around? Like, what was you doing in your free time? I was working, busting my ass, to make you attracted to me. While you was busting ass, bro, that's crazy to me. That's crazy. I gotta ask that question. That's mandatory. That's Mando. Something about me made you want to go on a date with me, right? I need to know your intentions, gangy. Huh? What you about, right? And that starts with, what's your body count? Huh? If you get mad about that, Dipperuski, huh? I know what category. You sticking right to that. All buns. Just cakery. Up and down. That's it. Leave me alone. Don't ask me nothing else. We don't want to get tight. Don't know my mama. Leave me alone. You feel what I'm saying? Who they hang around. Okay? Right? Their upbringing. Right? That comes later on down the line. I don't even want to know your upbringing if you get mad about body count, gangy. Huh? You want to know all about me and what I do. Let me know your body count. Let's start there. Huh? Let's start there. If not, can't dig it. I'm Gucci gang. Huh? All the way to the bank with it. But, yeah, that's how you start off. Right? Young men. That's how you start off. And if they get offended by that, it tells you who they are. Also, just paying attention to their friends, their friendships. How, do they need to be in everybody's face? Are they loud? Are they obnoxious? Huh? How do they treat men around them? Or just play a red pill podcast around them and see how they react. If they flipping out like, women right, instead of trying to understand where they coming from, like listening, because I could see sometimes it could be triggering. I get it, facts. I fuck with it because some of the stuff you ain't never heard before, gangy. But this is the things that we talk about. Are you comfortable in uncomfortable conversations about women and men's roles? Because in the modern day time, we have those conversations because a lot of shit got misconstrued. So we talking about that. If you getting mad and I don't want to hear it, I don't want to talk about it, you can't be around me, gang. You're not fit for me, because I'm gonna say a whole bunch of shit that you're gonna think misogynistic because I'm a real man, bruh. You feel what I'm saying? When women should, stay in their place, men should stay in their place. If you're a weak ass man, I'm gonna call you a weak ass man. Ain't no kudos playing around. No, you weak. Women might get mad, but you gotta understand. I don't want to hear none of that. We on the same team. We gotta be the same about this, bruh. Because we ain't raising no weak punks. You hear me? That's another one. Being raised around all spiteful ass women that ain't got no man. If I see your mama and she still, hoochie mama ended up, can't deal with it. Can't do it, gangy. I can't do it. I don't want her to be around me. I don't want, what I'm saying? I'm Gucci. Just leave me alone. You feel what I'm saying? Sex only. Right? Let's see what more you got to say.
I can tell by the way you talk. I can tell by the way you hold a conversation. If you
like how? Give me an example.
Jazz, you don't know what hoes look like? You're a woman.
No, I don't because here's what I'll tell you. A hoe is sitting right up in church right now, praising the Lord with a turtleneck on, right? Okay. A woman that barely has sex is walking around here with a mini skirt on with her titties out, right? So no, you can't look at a woman and say she's a hoe because you don't really know. You don't really know.
It's not based on look what his character. Like, it's like character. Like we've been around.
But you have to get to know someone, right? Of course. No, of course. But you have to get to know. That's why I'm asking.
That's why I just said
behavior. You have to get to know someone to understand their character. I was just going off of the initial interaction. You meet a woman, you see a woman. How do you see that woman and say she's a promiscuous whore from a single parent household? How does the red pill help you to sharpen that eyeball?
Well, we talk about behavior. We let you talking shape that outcome.
Yeah. You said you let us talking.
Can I ask his behavior? He said behavior first.
I think.
So, what kind of behavior does a promiscuous woman portray?
Argumentative.
Really?
Is you
Really?
trying to call
Really?
Jazz a promiscuous woman?
That's
Hey,
fine.
whoever-
That's fine.
Wait,
And then I mean that's
Oh
very
this is
boy.
an 80,
silly
this is
to
an
say
80,
because
look, this is an
that is
80
very
20.
silly to say
This
because there
is
are
an
plenty of
80,
women
this is
that
an
are
80
argumentative
20
that are virginal.
80% of the time, if it looks like a duck and it
So
quacks
you're
like a
saying
duck,
women who
it's a
are
motherfucking
argumentative
duck.
in that debate are promiscuous?
They're not
There's no way you
helpful
can
for a
quantify that.
relationship.
Don't say it.
We gonna leave it right there, man. To be honest, it's like, to be honest, even if they not promiscuous, it's a red flag, right? They could be, and then we don't want nothing that could be. We don't want no wishy washy, okay? If it quack like a duck, walk like a duck, what is it? It's a duck. Now, it's just what it is. It's like a dude having a straight dude having a best friend that's gay, and he go with him everywhere, right? Sometimes he don't answer his phone. He with his gay friend. You gonna look at him like crazy, gang. I don't go. He's a virgin. He could be this. He could be that. Ain't no hypotheticals. We one way. Either you rocking with it or you not. Either you with it or you're not. We not playing games. You're not gonna hang around hoes and say you're not a hoe, bro. I'm not. That's too much thinking for me. I gotta think too much. I don't like that. If I gotta think all the time about you and your whereabouts and how you do things and how you carry yourself, I'm not with it. I shouldn't have to think like that, bro. Like if you leaving too much wiggle room for me to respect how you moving, I don't want that. You can't play with me, okay? Who as a friend that it ain't hoeing, why you want to be around hoes so bad? I don't get that. As a dude who ain't gay, why you want to be around gay? Like I don't even. You go to gay clubs with them? Yeah, but I ain't gay. That's come on, bro. I can't rock with you, gangy. If I gotta question you too many times about that certain subject, it's a rapperoni. You know what I'm saying? But like the comment on the video, let me know what you guys think about this, man. If it walk like a duck, if it quack like a duck, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Do you think that's true? Do you think we should stop judging people and judge them by their character? Do you think they deserve enough time if they doing certain if they're enacting certain behaviors like they a certain way? Do you think they deserve enough time to see who that person really is, right? Even if they wasn't a hoe, do you think they hanging around hoes and being a hoe and acting rushing like one, they deserve the courtesy for us to find out? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, man. South Central, we out.
We be really politicking while we whipping